Hi everyone, I wanted to create a little video to explain a little bit about Slo Lo Karate. And I've been creating some material, online material for Slo Lo Karate for a few weeks now, and I've spoken to several people, and lots of people seem interested, so I thought I'd create a little video to just explain a little bit more. Now, I suppose really initially, why should all young people have all the fun? Why should the pre-35s have all the fun when it comes to martial arts activity? And it just doesn't need to be that way. We us mature people are more than capable of having a great time using martial arts. I appreciate though, the older you get, the less quickly you heal, the less quickly you mend, and the more serious the injury. So everything that we do in Slo Lo Karate is very careful and very, what's the word? Not sedate, but very cautionary. I think really we're very careful with it. I think that especially as we get older, all of us need mental and physical stimulation. If we don't have that stimulation, we really decline rapidly. And speaking personally, I don't want to decline rapidly. I mean, I appreciate I'm going to decline, but I'm going to do everything I can to slow that process down as much as I possibly can. And I suppose really the karate that I've created, or the system I've created, isn't really anything other than a slowed down version of what I've been teaching all my life, and it's what I would do if I were learning now, if I was starting to learn stuff now. Now the challenge as we get older is, as I see it, is this: one, we need activity. We need physical and mental activity. For me, cardio activity is mentally numbing. If it's just cardio, then it's numbing. Running, for instance, oh my god, I'm not built and constructed to be a good runner anyway, but running for me is such hard work, and it doesn't stimulate me in any way other than in a cardio way, and it's really hard for me. It's not good for my limbs and my joints. But much mental exercise ticks the other box, but not the physical activity box. The crosswords, the quizzes, the tablet games. They're great. They're really good for your mental acuity, mental agility, but they don't do anything physically for us, do they? So ideally, we need activities that will stimulate us in both ways, so that those parts of our system, our mind and body, can operate together to stimulate itself, and for the mental to stimulate the physical, and the physical to stimulate the mental, and we get a much more rounded and wholesome picture and activity. So I've tried to get Slo Lo Karate to do all of these things. It's everything that we would do in any karate class, except the kicks are lower and the techniques are slower. Hence the name, Slo Lo Karate. For years, and I would still argue, that if you can kick high, then you have more options. You can choose to kick high, you can kick medium, and you can kick low. Loads of people say low kicks are just as effective as high kicks, and they are. The only thing about only being able to low kick is that that's the only option you have, and it's always better to have more options. But it doesn't mean that having the option to kick low or not having the option to kick low is a useless choice. I mean, I would much rather be able to kick low than not kick at all, and so that's a very straightforward choice that I don't need any time to decide which one I'm going to go with on that. So as I said, Slo Lo Karate will fulfill all of these things. Slower movements, lower kicks, just really to make it attainable for everybody. It's not about being the most athletic, the most warrior-like, the most powerful person around, or even the fittest person around. It's about stimulating yourself and getting your body to move and think simultaneously. And that's such a good thing to do. And I really can't think of many other things that will do this. It's a little bit like mental chess. Sorry, mental chess. A little bit like physical chess. You know, you get up, you move around, you have to think as you move around. Everything needs to be engaged. All parts of you need to be engaged. I mean, literally, all parts of your physicality need to be engaged. And then, of course, you're having to engage your mind as well. And hopefully, if you get to love it, you'll engage your heart too. Because, you know, karate gets in the heart of everyone that does it. Well, pretty much everyone. So, one of the ways that I look at this this system, karate is a fighting system. So it's a fighting system that we're using to fight that relentless enemy of inactivity. Right. So instead of us thinking all the time about, you know, what about if we're mugged? What about if this happens? What about if that happens? The fight and those things, although they do happen to some people sometimes, they're pretty rare. Something that happens to all of us all of the time is this creeping inactivity that comes into our lives. This insidious thing that comes into our lives all the time, gradually. And Slo and Lo Karate is a brilliant way to use a fighting art to fight inactivity. It's the best way that I can explain it to you, really. We are so much less active now than even when I was a child. You know, I know that's several years ago, but you think, wow, you know, everything's brought to us, isn't it? You know, almost everything comes through a screen. Now, I know I'm speaking to you through a screen now, but my advice is, let's not just spend time talking through a screen. Let's get up and do something active, so that you're engaged, so your body gets used and your mind with it. So, thinking about space, I mean, I know that, and I don't want to be, critical of people, but I know that some people watching this will say they'll be lining up their excuses why they can't do this. Let me tell you how much space you're going to need. If you can stand up, put your arms out like this and not touch anything, turn and put your arms out like this and not touch anything, take one step to your left, one step to your right, one step forward and one step back, then you will have enough space to practice with me. I'm creating the whole thing to work within that much space. Right? So you don't need acres and acres of space, you don't need meters and meters. I estimate a 2 meter by 2 meter space will do you fine, do us all fine, and we can work within that. Time wise, you need maybe 20-30 minutes a couple of times a week. If you could do more, great, you'll progress faster. You will enjoy the benefits more if you do more. But I think that if you could do this at least a couple of times a week, you get some really good benefits from it. Now, here's the thing. Here's the most important thing. In order to help you, what I need to help you do more than anything else is to develop consistency. Because it doesn't matter how good the program is, it doesn't matter how much work and effort you put into it, if you're not consistent, you won't get the results, you won't get all the benefits. And I want you to experience all of the benefits of doing this. I want you to be much more mobile, much more active. I want you to feel more energized, more enthusiastic about life. I want you to be just generally more active. And I think enthusiastic is the thing, you know. I'm fortunate, I'm full of enthusiasm. Enthusiasm's coming out of my ears, and I'm really grateful for that, and I want to encourage that in other people as well. So enthusiasm will come from consistency. Learn to be consistent, keep yourself on track. Yeah? And that's the most important thing. I did a little post around New Year's time, because the thing that frustrates me more than anything, all of these gyms and programs that come out where they say a 6-pack in 8 weeks, or even couch to 5k, all of those things are fantastic. the thing that they need more than anything else is to coach consistency, because without teaching people to be consistent or encouraging people to be consistent, then everything else will fall apart. So that's the very first thing you have to get into. I would much rather you did 5 minutes with me twice a week to start with and got into a habit so that it really became a habit, and then you could extend it, couldn't you? 5, 6 minutes, then 7 minutes maybe. But I'd rather you created the habit of doing it twice a week than did it for 20 minutes once every third week. You know, it's not the actual amount of time that you spend doing it that counts. It's that regularity, it's that habitual thing that you get into. Anyway, enough of me running on. I really hope that you'll enjoy it. So Slo and Lo Karate, and that's part of the empty hand, open mind system. Alright, well, get in touch with me if you want more information. info@braindojo.com, and I'll give you any help that you'd like. Right, lovely to speak to you, and I hope to see you on the training video soon.